So we have 1 week left of the Element Cup, and I gotta tell you guys, I'm getting sick of all of these Cottonee Confusion lines. Like, they're driving me insane. Like, I know I featured it in my top 5 teams video, but I didn't think that they'd get this out of hand or that they'd be this annoying to fight against all the time in the Element Cup. So to combat the Cottonee Confusion core, I decided to make the Carvanha Ember core to directly counter them. Who to lead with, but a grass-type Pokemon. I'm using Execute. Bulbasaur also works. What's the difference between using Bulbasaur and Execute? Execute is better against Confusion teams and double Confusion teams. Bulbasaur is a bit more consistent against the Cottonee itself and is able to draw in Confusion to kind of like save swap counter the Bulbasaur, only to meet the Carvanha. At any rate, Carvanha for the Confusion, Ember for the Cottonee. That's the idea behind this team. Now you get to check it out in action. By the way, if you like these battle team type videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It encourages me and it makes me money. Money! So we have the first victim of this line here, a degenerate in a white t-shirt leading with Cottonee, the Filth. So what you usually do against Cottonee leads, or at least what I do, is I get a couple fast moves in and then I swap to my Ember user. Ember users are pretty nice because they've got, the body slam, so they're pretty solid in neutral situations, and if you're not leading Bulbasaur, it's honestly the best you can do against Cottonee there, because Cottonee will beat out the Execute in a even shield situation more often than not. And then usually their hard counter response to your Ember user, your Fire-type Pokemon, is their own Fire-type Pokemon, so now you got the fast move advantage over them, so you're able to take them out with your charge move before they take you out with their charge move. So it's pretty nice, because then you can get some good alignment against the Cottonee there, and Cottonee does have the advantage against Execute in an even shield situation, but when shields are gone, there's no more shields to be had. The Execute actually does a pretty stand-up job at beating the Cottonee here. Unfortunately, this Cottonee does reach their charge move, and they use Grass Knot. Man, that's like double bad for me there. And I panic, and I throw Seed Bomb. But it doesn't matter, because Seed Bomb did the job anyways. And then what do they have in the end game? But Slowpoke. So yeah, this guy, filthy Confusion Cottonee user, completely mulched away by this team. So now we got my opponent number 2, also leading with Cottonee. Look at that yellow motherfucker leading Cottonee. So yeah, a couple confusions, swap to my Ember user, and they respond with Ducklett because it's not a Chinchou, right? I mean, that's what you do with your Ducklett in the back. It's not a Chinchou, alright, the feast begins. It's time to swap to Ducklett. So this is a little bit of a precarious situation. I'd probably be feeling a little bit better if I was using Quick Attack Vulpix, but I'm not. It's not too bad anyways though, because I am Shadow and I can deal some mass damage to him. If you're curious what's better, normal Vulpix or Shadow Vulpix, they're both pretty equal in this particular line. I think regular Vulpix might be a little bit better for the Cottonee job because you come out of that farm down with 2 body slams instead of just 1 body slam, so you can get damage and get a shield. If you're considering Shadow Growlithe, I don't think Shadow Growlithe is all that good. It's got too many problems against Cottonee from what I've observed for the full farm down. And Tepig can also work, but you're going to want to have a high stat product Tepig or it might get KO'd by the Seed Bomb from the Cottonee in the full farm down. So my opponent here is closing out with Vulpix, and yeah, Carvanha, it doesn't just beat Confusion users, it also beats Ember users, and wow, the ultra rare bite down on the Cottonee for the end game. So my third opponent here, it is not leading in with Cottonee. We have the Confusion lead, which we actually beat because we're using the Execute, and they swap over to Ducklett. So I'm actually hanging out against the Ducklett a little bit here because I know I can bite it down with the Carvanha, but it can go a little bit more smoothly if they already have some damage on them. And I was just off on the count there. Like, more often than not, I can full bite them down if they're Aerial Ace at that range, but this opponent was just a little bit extra tanky there. They had the 1 extra HP, so they ended up making it. Ultimately, it doesn't matter though, because what are they bringing in but Shadow Eggs? I throw the Poison Fang, they throw the Shield, and I just chomp them down before they can confusion me down, because Carvanha is just that much of a beast. If you are curious, regular Carvanha versus Shadow Carvanha, I'd say whichever one's the cheapest for you to power up to 500 CP. There are minute differences between the two Carvanhas. I'd say overall the normal is slightly better for my purposes here. Oh yeah, look at that sweet catch. This actually won me the game. It was kind of dire at this point, but if I caught the Psyshock, I could win. Just quick highlight there. But yeah, no, the normal Carvanha does have some small advantages that I prefer over the Shadow Carvanha, but they're both basically the same, and you're probably not going to meet those like edge case scenarios where one matters more than the other. I'd say the biggest advantage this team has, though, is that the battles are fast. So for Go Battle Night, if you want to squeeze all those matches in, here you go. So here we have an opponent with a Ducklett Lead. Ducklett Leads are actually really annoying because you're going to have to swap to Carvanha in order to get ahead. So I charge up to the first Seed Bomb there, I throw it to get a shield, and then I shield up whatever their charge move is. Usually it's a Bubble Beam, but every now and then it's Aerial Ace, you know? So then after that charge move, I swap to Carvanha, and usually Carvanha can fast move them down before they reach their next charge move. And then it also draws out their Cottonee, should they have one. This opponent does have a Cottonee, and it's great because now I have my Shadow Vulpix lined up against their Cottonee to do the full fast move farm down. So they're going to throw the Seed Bomb at this point. They would not be able to reach a Grass Knot, so benefit of using the Shadow here in those uneven situations. And what will they do next? Man, it took a while for them to swap. They throw in Ducklett, and I throw at them the heavy body slam, taking them out there. So at that point, it would have been a little bit more advantageous to have the regular Vulpix, because I would have had double body slam at that point. And there I go for the double Seed Bomb. I do reach the 2 Seed Bombs, but unfortunately for me, their Confusion went through and I was unable to throw the second Seed Bomb. And then right there, just one fast move away from the body slam, which could have won me the match as well. So you don't win them all against those gosh darn Cottonee Confusion teams. Then my next opponent, this is actually the next fight immediately after that one, we got yet another Ducklett Lead. So sticking with the game plan, the strategy against the Ducklett, which is to throw the Seed Bomb, let them throw a charge move, shield that charge move, and then swap to Carvanha. And this guy's kind of taking their time. Usually it doesn't take them that long to throw a charge move, but I guess this opponent, they wanted a little bit more extra energy. Got a little bit greedy there. And then Carvanha comes in and just chomps them down. Right quick, right easy. They bring in Chinchou, and Chinchou is kind of fun because more often than not, it is slow enough to let you reach that sweet Poison Fang there. They shield it up because they don't want to get obliterated by the Poison Fang, but it already did its job. It dropped their defense. So I'm going to bring in Execute. They swap the Vulpix, knowing that I probably won't have another opportunity to throw and that I need to do as much damage to this Vulpix as possible to win. I decide to throw my charge move right away, knowing I won't reach Confusion. And then it comes to the end game situation here. I don't know if their Chinchou has a Bubble Beam or not yet, so I decided to let this through because the only way I can win is if I can fast move them down and then, you know, throw my charge move and then being able to shield up the Bubble Beam if they throw it right away. They don't even throw the Bubble Beam, so I don't know if they had it or not or if I just had CMP, but I take them out with the Body Slam. So as you can see, Ducklett line usually works out. Sometimes you're just a couple fast moves behind and you end up losing. Sometimes you're just right there. My next opponent here is running Seel, Lick Seel. So Lick Seel, I tried to kind of like play it smart in the past, but I found out that the best way to manage it is to just swap to Carvanha right away and hope they do something stupid. This person did something smart and they swapped to their Cottonee immediately to just obliterate it and give it no headway whatsoever against its Seel there. So I'm able to fast move down the Cottonee, and I actually do reach the legendary double body slam. I think I spent a shield for this too, and it kind of comes to bite me in the butt here because I'm gonna have to spend another shield because their freaking Seel, man, it had the charge move right away. So wicked fast, fastest lick in the West. But I am able to take it down. They got 2 shields with Execute against my Execute and a Vulpix that's like in the red. Is it possible for me to pull out of this one? They throw Ancient Power. I'm able to body tank it. I end up reaching the double seed bomb. So of course I'm throwing both of them, trying to get both shields, and then maybe in the end game I can reach a weather ball on my Vulpix. Only time will tell if I will be able to do this impressive feat. They actually let the second seed bomb through, which is unfortunate, and then I'm going down for the fast move farm down, and they're at 1 HP. I'm also at 1 HP, we're at 1 HP, they won by 1 HP. Maybe it was like 2 or 3 HP. That was a little thicker than just 1. And then we have my final opponent. Also, immediately after that Seel opponent, what am I faced with but another Seel opponent? So yeah, the Seel opponents kind of make me wish I had Bulbasaur as the lead, but I ain't using my Bulbasaur for nothing. And this Seel opponent decides to stay in against Carvanha, despite what should be their better judgment, because they have Cottonee in the back. Like, why would you charge up and throw your charge move against Carvanha when you're just going to swap the Cottonee anyways, you know? So I whip in my Vulpix after the Carvanha dies to full fast move farm them down, because that's what Vulpix does with Ember in this cup. And I am up to the quick attack. They have 2 shields, I only have 1 shield, they bring an execute. I'm just mashing body slam at this point usually because I just don't want something to sneak in and KO me. And they're going to shield it anyways, so, you know, I guess a little tech for my opponents that see this video. Usually it's going to be a body slam, so you could maybe let that through, I don't know. But yeah, I charge up to the double seed bomb once again, trying to work over this execute here. Execute shields it up, and I feel like I do have the opportunity to reach the psychic, so I do reach the psychic. I throw the psychic, and I don't know if they're just locked into doing a fast move because they should have a charge move at this point, but apparently they didn't get to use it. And then they bring in Seel, and then just there, 1 HP. Unlike the previous situation, 1 HP, Swagman on top. And there you have it. And there you have it, guys, the Carvanha Ember core. So not only is it good at beating Cottonee Confusion teams, but it can stand up to other teams as well, making it an overall pretty decent team for the Element Cup. I'd have to say, aside from beating Confusion Cottonee more often than not, one of the other big strengths of this team is that the battles go really, really fast. So when it comes to Go Battle Night, where we have to try to get in like, 100 battles in one night, which is very taxing and time consuming, this team just kind of blazes right through it, so I'm looking forward to whipping this team out during Go Battle Night. At any rate, if you have any additional questions about this team, comment below, let me know what's up, and I'll be happy to help you out. And if you enjoyed this video, you want to see more like it, well, make sure to subscribe to SwagTips. SwagTips. I'd also like to give a special shout out to these Patreon supporters. If you want to support Swagman on Patreon, link in the description. Carvanha, ooh na na. Half of my heart is with Carvanha, ooh na na.